everybody, Chris here from All for His Glory Crafts by Chris. And today we're going to learn how to make the roses that I showed you in the previous video. What you're going to need is a crochet hook. The size doesn't matter. You can use whatever size you like depending on how big you want your flowers to be. You're going to need a yarn needle or a darning needle and scissors, and of course yarn. Now we're going to start out by leaving an 8-inch tail or so, and that'll be for sewing the flower together. And we're going to insert our hook through our slip stitch, and we're going to start out by chaining 5 or chaining 6. Now we're going to second crochet. Okay. Oh, we're having fun today. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across, giving us a total of 5 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this is the foundation of our first petal. We will chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to single crochet in the first single crochet. We're going to skip the next single crochet, and then in the next one we are going to do a double crochet. We'll chain 1, and in the same stitch we're going to double crochet again, chain 1, in the same stitch we will double crochet again, chain 1, and then double crochet. Now this is going to give us 4 double crochets with 3 chains in this one stitch. We will skip the next single crochet, and we're going to single crochet in the last one, and there's our first petal made. Now we'll slip stitch back down into the chain space, and now what we're going to do is a technique called a chainless single crochet, or a foundation single crochet. If you don't know how to do this, you can find lots of great videos on YouTube. Just search for the chainless single crochet or the foundation single crochet. I'll kind of explain it a little bit here the best I can, but what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, and we're going to insert our hook underneath these 2 strands of yarn in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to pull up a loop. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through the first loop on our hook only, then we'll yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to insert our hook underneath the 2 strands of yarn of our previous stitch. We'll yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first loop, and this basically is making the chain, and then we're going to pull through the 2 loops to make the single crochet. Again, we're going to go underneath the 2 strands of thread, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through the first loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do this till we hit 5 times for 5 single crochets. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, insert underneath both strands, yarn over, pull through one, yarn over, and pull through two. And so this gives us our 5 chainless single crochets. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5 chainless single crochets and fold it backwards, and then flip our petal down so we're looking at the back. And we're going to go into this hole in the original chain that's underneath where we did the 4 double crochets, and we're going to slip stitch here. Now we have our first petal here, and this is our chainless single crochets here. What we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the first single crochet, skip the next one, and do the 4 double crochets with the chain ones in between. So that's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip the next single crochet, single crochet in the last single crochet, and then slip stitch into the chain below. And now we have 2 petals. And we're just going to repeat this process, 5 chainless single crochets, attach in the back, underneath. Just make sure that you only go through the last petal and not through your whole piece. You just want to go into the last petal here, right underneath. And make as many petals as you like. And like I said, the rosebuds here, these are made with 2 petals. This one is 5 petals here, this rose. This is a 3 petal here, and it looks like the rose is just starting to open. And this, like here, this one is 9 petals. So we'll just continue along and make as many petals as we'd like. And then I'll show you how to make the flowers. In fact, I'll start off, before I go any farther on this, and just show you how to do the rosebud. Rosebud is 2 petals. What you do is you take your work. This is where we would have finished off if we were just doing the rosebud. You're going to take your first petal and you're going to fold it backwards over your second petal. And then you would add, put your needle on your tail and secure this together. Then you're going to roll to the back your second petal, and again secure it at the bottom, and there you have your rosebud. Simple as that. I'm going to add some more petals on here, and then I'll be back to show you how to make the bigger flowers. Okay, I'm back, and I've just finished up my 7th petal here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fasten off my yarn, and I'm going to attach my needle to the tail that we left when we first started. Now, as you can see, these petals kind of like to curl around And that's fine. We're just going to start lifting them up so that they're all facing up, and we've got the flat edge across the bottom. And we're going to start with our first petal, the first one that we crocheted, and we're going to fold it backwards over the second petal. And we're going to take our needle and just give it a stitch to secure it. Now we're going to continue wrapping backwards and securing as we go. There's our second petal, and we're going to secure this one, and our third petal. Now when we're doing this, we want to make sure that this bottom stays as flat as we can possibly keep it, and if it helps, you can turn it over and just wrap around from the bottom. And our next petal. And we'll just keep wrapping and securing until we come to the end. And I will be back as soon as I get to the end. Okay, now that we've made it all the way around and we have our rose all sewed together along the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to take our tail where we ended off and the tail that we used for sewing, and we're just going to tie these in a knot on the bottom. Now, depending on how you want to use these, you can either snip the tails off here if you're just going to glue these on to the leaves, or if you're going to sew them onto something, you can leave the tails and use those for sewing on. Now I'm going to go on and show you how to make the different leaves. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the 3-leaf, which is we're going to start by attaching our yarn under a hook, and we're going to chain 2. Now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, or chain 4, then we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and the other 2 chains, which is going to give us 3 single crochets down the side. And we're going to go back into our original second chain from the hook, and we're going to do another single crochet. And again, we're going to chain 4, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in each additional chain for a total of 3 single crochets, and again back into our starting chain. We're going to do a single crochet again and another chain 4. Again, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in each remaining chain, total of 3 single crochets, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of our starting single crochet and fasten off. Snip the thread. And this gives us the 3 leaves for the rosebuds. We'll take our yarn, tuck in our tails, and then there's the 3 leaves that fit on the rosebuds like this. And then again, depending on how you want to attach this, if you're going to glue it on, you can snip your tails, or use them for sewing your flower onto something. Now for the bigger ones, for the 5, the 6, 7 leaf ones, like it that's on this flower, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Now depending on how many leaves you want on for your flower, is going to depend on how many single crochets you're going to do in this second chain from the hook. For a 5 petal or 5 leaf, you want to do 4 single crochets. For a 6 leaf, it's going to be 5. For a 7, 6, it's 1 less than the number of leaves you want. So I'm just going to do a 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to slip stitch into our first single crochet, then here we're going to chain 5, slip stitch or single crochet in our second chain from the hook, and in each remaining chain for a total of 4 single crochets. Then we are going to single crochet in our next single crochet, and again chain 5, single crochet in our second chain from the hook, and in each remaining chain for a total of 4 single crochets. And again, you can make these as long as you want, just add extra chains. Again, single crochet in our next single crochet in the ring, chain 5, and we'll repeat this until we get around to the end, and I will be back when I get. Okay, we've just finished our 5th leaf, and what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into our first single crochet and fasten off. Again, we will take our needle and tuck in our tail on the back of our work. And again, you can cut these off, or if you're going to use them for sewing on, if you want the leaves to curl up on your flower, you'll put it that way. If you want them to curl down, and you're going to use your tails, I would just thread them through the center here and then attach the flower, and there you have the leaves facing down. Now for the last one, which is the bigger leaf here. Again, start out, and this again depends on how big you want your leaf. It is going to depend on how many chains, or how many chains you do is going to depend on what size leaf you want. For a small leaf, it'll be 7. For a medium-sized leaf, it'll be 11 chains, and for a large leaf, it'll be 15 chains. And I will show you the small first. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have our 7 chains. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, half double crochet in the next chain, we're going to double crochet in the next 2 chains, half double in the next chain, and single in the last chain. Now you can use this leaf just like it is, or we can chain 1, and then this is where we finished off the row. We're going to flip it around the other way, and we're going to work in the back side of the original chain, and we're just going to repeat the same series. Single crochet in the first, half double in the next, double crochet in the next 2, half double in the next, single crochet in the last. And what we're going to do is join with the slip stitch to our first single crochet and fasten off. And there we have the small leaf. What we'll do is take our ending tail and sew it in on the back of our work. Now for the next size, the medium size, we're going to chain 11. Now again, we're going to start out with a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. We will do another single crochet, half double in the next 2 chains, double in the next 2, half double again in the next 2, and single in the last 2. Again, you can leave this just the way it is, or if you want a wider leaf, we're going to again chain 1, turn our work around, and working in the back side of the chain, we're going to repeat single crochet in the first 2, half double in the next, and again in the next, double crochet in the next 2, half double in the next 2, and single in the last 2. Join with the slip stitch and fasten off. And again, we will sew our ending tail, and there's the size difference between those two. And now for the larger one, we will chain 15, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in the next chain, half double in the next 2, double in the next 2, triple in the next 2, double in the next 2, half double, and the next 2, and single in the last 2. And again, we can use this just the way it is, or we can go ahead and crochet out the back side. Repeating the same pattern we used on the front side. And again, you can use these flowers for all kinds of stuff. Sew it on a hat. Take a wire and some floral tape and attach them to the wire. Unwrap the wire and floral tape and make a bouquet of crocheted roses. Yeah, the possibilities are endless as to what you can use these for. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, comment, like, subscribe. Blessings.